Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, May 1st, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I align my mind with healing thoughts. Whew! Healing thoughts. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being a community I can lean on all the layers. Thank you for showing up for me. Happy May Day. Happy May 1st. Happy Beltane. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Rabbits everywhere. Let's have a beautiful May. That being said, we are kicking May off with intensity. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have questions about Joe. He is doing better. He's still in ICU. He's doing better. And I'm going to go see him right after recording. So I will keep you informed as much as I feel able without exposing his privacy too much. So there we go. Today we have Pluto retrograde and Sun and Mercury conjunct at 11 degrees. We are building to an eclipse this week. Eclipse on Friday in the sign of Scorpio. We are in the eclipse corridor. As I am sure you have gathered, it has been a very intense ride. I know it's not just been intense for me. I've seen so many people dealing with so many things, lots of physical stuff coming up. I've been listening to this great song today, Don't Hold Your Breath by Wookiefoot, that just reminds us to keep breathing through this. I've listened to it like 5 times in a row, and I highly recommend it. Don't hold your breath. Breathe it in, breathe it out. So, that being said, let's look at this astro. Let's look at Pluto retrograde. So, Pluto has been in Aquarius. Gosh, when did it move into Aquarius? My brain is so filled with other facts and various medical things that I'm like, when did it move in? It was March, right? March 23rd, I think, that it moved into Aquarius. And from now until June 11th, which is about 40 days. Interesting. This seems to be Jupiter's cycle. It takes about 40 days to go through some of these transits. 40 days of change. That's when it will move into Capricorn. So from now until June 11th with Pluto retrograde, what are we focusing on? Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, recognizing the power of community, recognizing the power of the people, the energies that we rely on and surround ourselves with, for better or for worse. In this case, this community, all of you have been so supportive to me, and I am so grateful. But sometimes that's not the case, and we have to be aware of that. Pluto in retrograde over the time is going to make us really empower the vibrational nature of things, the vibrational nature of anything, our thoughts, our feelings, our community, the things we take in, the things we watch, feeling the vibrations like that are just there, that are existing with us on this planet, and knowing where we're called to lean into things and where we're called to move away from things. Recognizing that we all are antennas and we all have this sensitivity. Some of us are more in tune with this sensitivity than others, but we all have it. Those things that you feel, the vibes, that is this, like those vibes are good, those vibes are not good. This is what it is. And learning to empower that, learning to listen to these energies is so important. Recognizing the vibes you give off. I could tell a story about that, but I'm not going to right now. So just keeping that in mind. The retrograde is a call within, to look within ourselves. And between this and the eclipse coming, there's major calls to change. The card that I got overall for May was the transformation card. And so this Pluto retrograde is transforming by noticing this. And that Scorpio eclipse is saying, I need to put a boundary here because I've noticed this is not good for me. This is not vibrationally aligned with my highest values, calling in that Taurus energy. Now, I love that the Sun and Mercury are conjunct today at 11 degrees, that master degree in the sign of Taurus, because as Pluto's going retrograde, it's like, oh, you are going to be noticing. Things are going to be, I'm imagining that whack-a-mole game where like those little moles pop out of holes all over the place. Like things are going to be popping up into your field and be like, yes, no, yes, no, and recognizing those yeses, recognizing those nos, listening for those signs, paying attention to it. This eclipse energy feels like such a line drawn in the sand by the universe of saying you are being called to move forward and these things are not moving forward with you. So recognizing, it was a very strong line for Joe, but recognizing what is this line in the sand that the universe is drawing for you. And if stuff has been up, listening really hard to see, like, what is this? What is this that is impacting me? What is this energy? And is this something I want to lean into? Is this something that I value? Leaning into that Taurus energy? Or is this something that I'm being called to release at this time? It is such a powerful week for transformation and release and recognizing your personal empowerment. Now, things may get a little haywire with the Sun and Mercury conjunct. Mercury is building to a place where it's closest in its orbit to the Sun later this week, so the Mercury shenanigans may be going off. So just watch that, because as we build to this full moon eclipse, we may not have as much patience. We're going to have, like, you know, the moon in Libra trying to balance us out, really trying to help us as we build to this, but the shenanigans will be up, and they are part of the messages for you as well. Pay attention. The messages are for you. You're not going to interpret it wrong. It's not like going to school and when you interpret a poem or whatever, they're like, that's wrong. Not like that. It's not like that. Listen, you are keyed in. You are clued in. It's not to say that you can't get insight from other people, but you know. And trust your knowing. You have the blueprint. You know the way. Okay, so I did mention moon into Libra. That's not going to be till later in the evening. We have the moon in Scorpio through today. Moon in Scorpio connecting to Uranus, connecting to Mars. We just had Uranus and Mars in connection. This is helping enforce the change, but watch where you're holding on to old patternings. Watch where triggers are coming up. Watch for these messages. Watch for these signs. I just realized I had a really interesting dream as I'm saying that. Old stuff that you may have processed a long time ago may be coming up for some reprocessing. Moon squaring Venus. Did I say moon in Scorpio? I meant moon in Virgo. Sorry. Moon in Scorpio later this week. Moon in Virgo. The Scorpio and the Virgo glyphs are very similar. And my brain is pretty tired from all the back and forthness. So, moon in Virgo right now. So, moon in Virgo squaring Venus in Gemini. This is where it gets confusing, because Virgo energy can sometimes bring in the shoulds, and Gemini energy can sometimes play around like, I'll try on this mask, I'll try on this mask. And we find ourselves somewhere in the middle. So watch for those things. Watch where you're going purely on the information. You're not necessarily listening to your intuition. Watch where you may be trying on somebody else's face, trying on somebody else's life, trying off. Keep having eclipses of my light. It's funny. Anyway, watch where you're trying on those things that are not necessarily authentic to you. And find your you. In the middle. That's part of all this healing work, is just finding your you, moving through, seeking that balance. That Sun and Mercury conjunction is happening around 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So again, just watch those Mercury communication vibes. Watch the Mercury mischief. Take time to get grounded. Moon in Virgo opposite Neptune. I love that. I love that connection, because it's that beautiful balance of spirit and the physical, and finding where your balance is, calling in the mystical to support all of this. Moon into Libra, 11:09 p.m. makes its first connection with Pluto, newly retrograde. It's so interesting. I always like to see what the last and first connection is, and here's the first connection with Pluto, with the moon in Libra. And so Pluto's like, just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you find your balance. I'm just trying to help you find your power. My love is just a reminder, find your center. Moon in Libra over the next few days, like I said, it might feel a little bit like a boat on the water trying to find its balance. Do your best. Hard times require furious dancing. Dance it out, move these energies through. Watch where you're getting stuck in those politics, pretending. Watch where you get stuck in the shoulddiness, because we're all being called to bloom into our most true, most authentic selves. So with that, I leave you here. You can book a reading with me. They say Joe could be in the hospital for like another 2 weeks. While he is in ICU, I'm going there every day. I don't know if I'm going to go there every day once he's not in ICU, because it is a drive. But I will probably start doing readings again, I'm guessing next week. I might give myself this week to recalibrate myself. But please, and thank you to everybody who's donated to GoFundMe. This has been hard not doing readings, but this has needed my attention. Thank you so much for all of your love, all of your support, all of your prayers, all of your energy. Thank you for being a loving, wonderful community. So besides all that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.